Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Danielle. I'll be your host as we discuss Pillars of Light, stories of goddess activations. Today we have a very special guest with us, Kory Muniz. She's a co-author in Pillars of Light. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Danielle. Lovely to be here.
Thank you. And can you hear me just fine? I know my headphones have been acting up.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background before we get started in the book a little bit?
Well, I'm a Reiki master teacher. I have a small practice in Encino, California, and I work with several different modalities for wellness and healing. And my whole thing is to empower people to understand the innate healing properties within themselves.
Beautiful.
And I do that with whatever modality spirit tells me they need. I do everything from the Reiki to crystal healing, color therapy, clinical aromatherapy, and I also work with frequency machines. So basically things from Tesla. I have worked with children and taught them nutrition and wellness and lifestyle through the Los Angeles school system. And I'm a gourmet raw food chef. So I have a lot of things, but everything kind of goes towards the health and wellness, because I feel that when people are healthy, they're happy. And happy people are nice, kind, gentle, peaceful people.
Oh, I love that. I agree with you. That is absolutely true. So could you tell us what the word goddess means to you?
The word goddess to me just means the energy, the divine feminine part of the God source, and the energy that just supplies all that's good in the world.
Yeah.
The birth, the creativity, those things.
I love that. That's beautiful. So what goddess did Radhaa activate within you?
It was interesting because when she first asked me if there was a goddess that I worked with, I told her that I work with Quan, the goddess of compassion. And that was the goddess that I had the most connection to. And so that's what I had anticipated going into the session that we were going to be doing, but that's not who I ended up with.
Okay.
So I had Quan was there during the activation, but Mother Mary also appeared and had gifts and lessons to give me, which was really kind of shocking. Raised in a Jewish household, I was like, what? Me? But it was a very beautiful, nurturing experience. She asked me what it felt like, and it just felt like I was embraced in this motherly, non-conditional love that was just, it made me cry. It made me cry. And then she informed me that Quan is the Eastern version of Mother Mary. And that Quan would be at my back and Mother Mary would be at my front. So I'd be supported by Quan and taught and given gifts by Mother Mary.
Wow, that's beautiful. I could see that. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for explaining that, because I actually did not know that.
I wasn't aware of that either, so very cool.
Why or how did you choose the goddess Quan prior to connecting to Mother Mary?
I just, the compassion that she represents. Yes. Again, the love. And her connection to water. I've always felt the connection to water, although I also have a slight fear of water. Which I know why, through this whole process with Radhaa and exploring past lives and places that I've been. It makes a lot of sense, but I find my rejuvenation and my health near water. I live in Southern California, not far from Malibu, and that's where I feel the most alive and connected to source, is through water. So I guess that kind of translates into my connection with Quan as well.
Yeah, there is a calming energy when you're near the ocean, that is for sure. Yes. So, a lot of people are not, I think a lot of people would think that the goddess activations would be a little, like a fluffy experience. But we both know that's much deeper than that. And in a lot of cases, people are going to experience a persecution of wounds, timeline clearing, energetic divorce, that sort of thing. And it can get really deep and powerful. So, in your session, how did that feel for you energetically, at least during the beginning of the session, and then as it transitioned throughout the process?
I had a feeling it was going to be heavy. When it was first mentioned to me, I felt a resistance because it was really out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
To think that I was going to go deeper into some of the things that I had experienced in my life. But as it progressed, and not only knowing Radhaa for many years as I have, and I just always feel calm and wonderfully loved and supported with her, no matter what, and safe. I felt that I could just let go and open myself up to the experience, which I did, and it was a floodgate of happy, joyful, angry, frustrated. It basically hit every single nerve, every single emotion, every single memory. And as we progressed, she brought up 3 specific things,
Okay.
and which is talked about in my chapter, and made them clear. It was kind of like watching a video play out. And she was not telling me what to see. She was just putting me in a place where I could speak about it and then confirming it.
Wow.
And it took me a week to really unpack everything and talk with some of my close friends, like that I knew from a past life, and go, that's where I knew you. I love you. I mean, it sounds crazy, but we all walk into a room and see people and dislike them automatically, or love them automatically, or know I have to spend time with this person for some reason.
Yeah.
But this activation with me answered all of these questions.
That's beautiful. That's really powerful.
So I have
sorry.
this puzzle in front of me, and this activation gave me all my missing pieces.
Wow. Wow. So then how would you explain in words to someone who would want to experience it? Like, they could experience it. What do you think that they could potentially experience themselves? Because of course we all have our own unique journey and experience. So in a gist of what could be like potential for someone.
Well, I think if you have questions in your mind about what your purpose is here on this planet, why you've gone through the experiences that you've had, and how that can benefit you, or has that benefited you, I think that this is just something that in a very short amount of time can do that for you. And like I said, I didn't expect it to be, other than I know Radhaa and I know how things happen around her. I didn't expect it to be as deep and profound and life-changing as it was. It was like a switch. It was just flipped. And I've been doing spiritual work for at least 30 years. I mean, really doing clearing and, letting go of old wounds and when I realized that the reason why I couldn't let them go to the extent that I thought I could was because I now know how deep they were. And how many lifetimes I experienced the same thing over and over and over again, and was never given the opportunity to release it. So I was just this bottle of frustration and absolute sadness and remorse, and just the why does this keep happening? Why do I keep experiencing this? I've done these practices, and I've read these books, and I've done the meditation, and why is it still there? So now I can stop beating myself up, and I can say, sweetheart, you went through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was really deep down there, and you are this onion that it's just been coming up and coming up and coming up. And there's still more stuff to come up. I mean, I'm definitely still a work in progress, but I feel light years ahead of where I was last Tuesday, because this happened a week today, and everybody can benefit from this. Everybody, and it's just taking that leap of faith that you're strong enough to walk through those old wounds and know that you're going to come out of the other side safe and stronger and more secure in yourself and your core being than when you went in. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it's beautiful. I just get so touched by what you're saying, because I can kind of relate myself, because I have worked with Radhaa before. So definitely getting to the root of something, I think, is profound. The dark side, the light, because again, people could think, oh, goddess activations, it's kind of fluffy, we just light. It's like, no, we're going to address everything. And it could be pretty strong session within just one session. Like you said, it took you a week to process this. That's amazing.
Yeah. And what's wrong with the word fluffy?
Nothing, absolutely. But it's been a stigma that they put right out there,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it does make you fluffy. Because when you release it burdens, you become lighter.
That's true.
So don't put fluffy.
Okay, well, we love fluffy here. What kind of things that do you think the goddess activations could be used for after having experienced the activation yourself?
Oh gosh. Other than what I've already mentioned, getting to know yourself.
Okay.
Getting to understand why you react and respond in the 3D environment the way you do.
Okay.
And then giving yourself the choice to change that. And then giving yourself the tools to do that if you so wish to.
The patterns, yeah, absolutely. That's excellent. What are some shifts that you could recognize within yourself since having the activation done?
Oh gosh. I'm a very tolerant person, but I've become more tolerant.
Okay.
And I've found my strength to be able to walk away when somebody is trying to engage me in something that lowers my vibration instantaneously.
I love that.
And so I don't go through the guilt process or the trying to match their vibration, lower myself so that we can communicate. I just understand that I can come from a more loving place by not engaging in this, walking away, and then coming back later.
That's amazing. I love that. Yeah. Wow. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Discernment, which is really important in this crazy world we're living in right now.
Yes. And I have to tell you a funny synchronicity about this, because we were talking about that earlier, but I made a brief post earlier before our Zoom meeting about discernment. So if that isn't a synchronicity, I don't know what is it. And I love that you follow that very strongly. Your discernment is on point, I can tell. What made you feel super drawn to working with Radhaa on the Pillars of Light book? How did you feel that inspiration to be drawn into it?
It was just my intuition just said, my soul came out and said, you are doing this. And the funny thing is that when I was trying to sign up for it, my computer was glitching, and I kept having all of these, like, it wasn't taking this and it wasn't showing that, and it wasn't, I'm like, I'm texting to Radhaa and I'm saying, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And I'm like, what am I saying? Source is saying, how much do you want this?
You're right, exactly.
And
Yep.
that's when I was like, okay, where the 20-year-old me would have said, well, all the signs are telling me I shouldn't do this, and just walk away from it, But, through prior work, I was just like, no, this is the divine saying, are you ready? And I just, Radhaa said, okay, just put everything down and clear yourself and come back and try it again. And that's what I did, and everything went through.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So it was a test. And I had a very similar one when I was studying Reiki with my master teacher. And the one thing with Reiki is when you go through the process, everything that no longer serves you falls away. And but you're going to, the things that are in your body that are not wanting you to be that powerful being that you're supposed to be will put something in your way to stop it. And I got this really terrible stomach ache all of a sudden. And I had it before she said that, but it came on very quickly. So I said, okay, you're not going to win. My lower self is not going to win. My higher self is going to win this one. And the stomach ache went away. It just dissipated.
Wow. That just goes to show the testament of the power of your mind too, and how you persevere and that inner strength. And I think compassion is a very large strength, especially because when you're compassionate with yourself, you can certainly hold space for others. So, yeah.
And that's the hardest, isn't it? It's so much easier for us to give compassion and understanding to other people than it is within ourselves.
Right. What do you feel that your soul purpose is then on Earth at this time?
It's funny because I don't think anymore. I know since this activation.
I did say think, didn't I?
What I know is that my job is to help raise the vibration of the planet.
I love that.
And prior to that, what I would say last Tuesday, if you asked me, I would say to leave the world a better place than when I came into it. But now I know what I'm supposed to be doing to do that, which is crazy because during COVID, I just got initiated into this company that works with frequencies.
I love that.
So it's a wonderful world, and it's a wonderful planet, and there are wonderful people on it. And, I could be the Mother Mary right now and say, just get over it. Realize that, we can do this. We're better than this. And we are amazing, amazing creatures. And we were put here to thrive, not just exist. And we were put here to give love and to accept love and to be love. And that's the one thing that separates this planet from a lot of other planets.
Right. I feel too, when you come from that space, it's heart-centered, which is very, in my opinion, Quan Yin and Mother Mary energy. So, and you do that quite well. In fact, you make, actually, just meeting with you, I felt a sense of like instant acceptance, feeling comfortable. You just have that energy about you. So thank you for bringing that type of energy forward into this world, because we definitely need it.
Well, thank you for marrying that.
Yes. Oh, Thank you. So how would you recommend our viewers working with Radhaa Publications on a
Yes,
certainly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
100,000,000,000%. I don't even know how that came out, but
Ecstatic.
absolutely.
Yeah. Would you how would you explain then how your experience was working with Radhaa Publications? Did you feel supported? How was the overall experience?
Not only supported, but lifted.
Hmm.
Lifted up to the you can level, and then absolutely supported throughout the whole thing, even when I felt like I couldn't go on, because the tears came from the bottom of my toes all the way up through my heart chakra and just through my head. And I for a second was thinking how stupid I must look, and how I must sound, and then I just didn't care.
I love it.
It just is.
Mhm.
This is what I need to be doing right now, and I'm going to allow myself to do it. And that strength came from Radhaa.
She does hold good space.
Everything is beautiful. You did that. No, that's good. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I just want to thank you so much, Kory, for being with us. We're going to go ahead and link the information down below with how our viewers can contact you, as well as Radhaa Publications. And we look forward to reading your chapter.
Thank you. I can't wait to get it out there.
All
And
right.
thank you for your energy and your love and your support through this interview. It's not an easy thing for me to do, but I appreciate you. I love you. And may all good things happen in your world.
Thank you. And I wish the same for you. Well, have a great evening and until the chapter.
Namaste.
Namaste.